My next guest, you know who he is, Aaron Jeffery. He's going to be fighting for some hardware coming up here on March 12th. He's going to be taking on Collin Huckbody at CFFC 93. Going back to CFFC, Aaron. It's going to be great. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing awesome. Tell me how this came together, because I know last time we spoke, you were talking about maybe fighting for an LFA title, but I think this is pretty cool, getting to fight Collin Huckbody.
For sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the behind-the-scenes stuff too much. My manager, Dodge, takes care of most of that. We got the offer. We like the fight. It's for a title, big promotion, so it sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, there's two good things about this, obviously, is the title, and then also Collin had a UFC contract. I believe there's a falling out there or something, so he went back to fight for CFFC. So is it kind of cool? Because I think you last fought in CFFC 2015 against Sean Brady when you were at welterweight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely cool. I mean, either of these big promotions like CFFC, LFA, either one is awesome. It's on Fight Pass. It's a main event. It's good exposure. So yeah, it's great for sure. Was
there any talks of you fighting again for LFA? Like, did they reach out after you won your last fight, or was it just like you just took whatever was the best offer?
Yeah, again, I don't really know. I think they might have wanted me to fight for their title too, but again, I don't know the ins and outs too much, so I can't really say.
No worries. Like the honesty. What do you know about Collin? How do you feel like you match up against him here? Contender Series vet as well. I should mention that.
Yeah, Contender Series vet. He won his fight on there. Like you said, something happened between him and the UFC. I think maybe he declined the contract, didn't feel ready. He's good. He's a strong grappler. He's got a bunch of wins by submission. I think I match up well against him, though. I think it's a good fight for me.
Would you say this is one of your toughest fights? I know usually every fighter's like, yeah, it's toughest opponent ever. But I mean, you fought Brendan Allen, who's done quite well in the UFC. Collin, had the UFC contract. Where do you rank him in terms of tough opponents?
Yeah, he's up there for sure. I mean, the last couple guys I fought have been tough. But yeah, like with Brendan Allen and Sean Brady on my record too, I'd say those guys are going to be up there for a while as the toughest guys I fought. But Huckbody, he's a decent opponent for sure.
Style-wise, how do you look at this fight?
I think I'm well-rounded. I think people seem to see me as more of a striker because I have a lot of wins by knockout, and most of my fights end on the feet. I'm sure they're looking at it as kind of a striker first grappler type thing. But again, I'm comfortable everywhere. I think he's probably going to try and take it to the ground. I'm good to go there. I'm good to go on the feet. So whatever happens, happens.
Training camp. I know a lot of your teammates have got fights coming up. Zach, you've got Jazz. I'm sure Anthony Romero is going to get booked again soon. How's camp going right now?
It's good, man. Yeah, we're finding a way to make it happen. I mean, the restrictions are difficult. We've had bylaw officers come to the gym.
Really? How's that been?
Somebody left the door unlocked, and this woman came down into the gym, and it was probably the worst thing she could have seen. Like 30 sweaty dudes, shirts off, rolling all over each other, gear everywhere, clothes everywhere. The room's full of steam. It smells like piss and sweat and blood. So she was not too impressed. But yeah, like I said, we're finding a way to make it happen.
Did you get fined or anything, or what happened?
No fines.
Just like a stern warning.
It's a stern warning, and it doesn't really seem like they know what they're doing either. Like they don't know what we're allowed to do. We don't know what we're allowed to do. There's like back and forth, phone calls, emails. Every day they're getting a complaint from someone about seeing people going to the gym. They don't know what's going on. So it's annoying, but yeah, we're still there for now.
Did you get to work with Elias Theodoro at all for this camp? I know with the restrictions it's tough, but Elias is fighting the night after you. I'm actually calling his fight for Rise. It's going to be cool.
Nice. Cool. Yeah. I see Elias once or twice a week pretty consistently.
That's good. So so you are getting a bit of cross training, which is good because I know he's one of the guys you like working with.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, he's a solid partner for me.
That's good. Any concerns about traveling to the States? Because I talked to Zach about this yesterday, Powell, your teammate. He's a bit worried that, maybe if he tries to come back, they might give him some problems. We've heard some horror stories. Is that something that you're like worried about, or like what's sort of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm more worried about getting there. Like the only thing on my mind right now is the fight. So I want to be able to get into the States and do what I got to do. I mean, like if I'm coming home with a win and a nice shiny belt, I'm probably not going to be too concerned about getting stuck in like a quarantine hotel or whatever. I'll probably be on cloud nine. It's definitely inconvenient. It probably sucks more for my coaches coming down with me because like they don't want to have to do that. But I don't know, man. I hear people leaving the country with no issues. I hear people coming back with no issues. So hopefully it's all just fake news.
Yeah, Matt seems pretty confident though. Your manager, right? Like he's down in the States, so I'm sure he's at least aware of what's going on and trying to facilitate that. That's why you have a manager, right? To make sure you don't have to worry about that stuff.
Exactly.
So that's good. The weight cut, I'm sure, is going well. I mean, you're a nutritionist. I'm sure you've got everything zoned in.
Oh yeah, always. It's easy.
Good stuff. You mentioned your coaches. Who will be going down there with you?
So Chris Prickett and Lyndon Whitlock. The
Oh, awesome. Lyndon is making it nice.
Yep, for sure.
That'll be good.
Yep.
How's this fight playing out? Collin is a pretty tough guy to finish. How do you envision the fight playing out?
I think I'm going to get the win for sure. I don't want to make too many bold predictions, but I could probably see a finish in one of the later rounds.
Okay, that makes sense. And in terms of the fact that it's a title fight and it's 5 rounds, does that change anything in camp? You do a bit more cardio, or do you kind of just train for that in general?
No, I think my gas tank's like one of my better attributes. Typically on a sparring day, I'd spar 4 to 5 rounds anyways. Grappling days, way more than that. I've never had an issue with my gas tank. My BTC fight, I think I went into the 4th or 5th round and I had plenty of energy. So, no, I think just stay consistent.
Does this feel like a UFC fight? Because Collin, like I said, had the fight. I mean, you very well could have got signed after winning because you've won what, 2? Is it 2 or 3 now since you on
3 in a row?
3 in a row, exactly.
So
exactly. So I mean, in some ways, this could have been a fight they would have made on in the UFC anyways with 2 fighters coming off the regional scene. Is that sort of how you see this?
Not so much. Like I just take it one fight at a time. I mean, for it feels like years. I think it's been at least a year. People have been saying like this guy just needs one more win to go there. He should be signed any day now. Whatever. So I don't know, man. There's not much I can worry about other than winning this fight. So that's all I can do.
And in terms of like downtime right now to try and because I'm sure you get a bit of it, obviously being more confined and stuff. What are you doing right now?
Same old man, living my typical boring life, going for walks, listening to podcasts, reading some books.
Okay, well let's hear. What have you been listening to recently, podcast wise?
Let me have a look real quickly and tell you.
Yeah,
I just got into. Do you know who Lex Friedman is?
Yeah. I use on Joe Rogan's show.
Yeah, so he's got his own podcast, and I really like that. It's a lot of like tech stuff, but there's some like consciousness and that kind of stuff.
Like body biohacking or whatever it is, like stuff that like self improvement.
Yeah, that kind of stuff too. I don't know. I like all this like quantum mechanics stuff lately too, and like quantum theory, like black holes and quarks and string theory and all that stuff. Sigma Nutrition is like a nutrition podcast. I listen to Duolingo. Do you know the app Duolingo?
I don't. What is it?
Learning app. It's a language learning app.
Oh, cool. What are you learning?
French.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's good.
Getting pretty decent.
That's good. What brought that on? Just wanted to learn another language?
My girlfriend is French Canadian, actually.
Oh,
so
there you go. Good stuff.
To learn how to speak to her family.
Yeah, that's good. I took French in high school, and I forgot like most of it. I couldn't tell you now. And I actually dated a French Canadian girl when I was in university, but I just haven't had to use it since because like no one speaks French out here. So
no, or here, Southern Ontario, not really.
That's true. Yeah, good point. Ottawa, though. You go to Ottawa. There's a lot of people speaking French there because it's close to Gatineau, right? Which is where Zach's from. What else was I going to ask you? Oh, yeah. So last time we spoke, I know you said, I guess they saw your fight the UFC and Mick Maynard or whoever, Sean Shelby, I can't remember who it was like, yeah, you need one more. So your management, like, I'm sure they're going to have their eyes on this fight because it is CFFC. It is on Fight Pass.
Mm-hmm. Again, man, like they've been saying this for a while. I hope so. Like
I know it's kind of like a broken record. I'm sure it's annoying to talk about.
Yeah, they had me on Contender Series, so obviously I was like on the radar somewhat. Mm-hmm. And then three wins in a row after that, all knockouts, fighting like high level guys. I mean, LFA main event, I fought Bruno, who was also a Contender Series guy. So I don't know what they want from me, but again, all I can do is focus on this one and get the win and see what happens after that.
Would you consider, and just talking hypothetical here, would you ever consider just going to Vegas, hanging out there for a bit in case like a short notice fight comes up? Is that something that's crossed your mind if for some reason after this you don't get signed? I'm not looking too far ahead here, but I was just...
Yeah, no, for sure. The only thing is, again, it's the travel restrictions, right? Like, It's trying to get down there and everything and then worry about quarantine coming home. And if I'm just going down there just because, like, I can't spend months of my life there and blow through my bank account, right? So it's super inconvenient. Vlad, who was on Fight Island a couple times, he kept trying to convince me to go out to Fight Island, and he said if there's going to be a replacement, like you're there, that's what will happen. But again, it's like to make that huge trip just for a maybe is tough.
Well,
to
that
do.
especially because that flight's expensive, right? I could see with Vegas it's a little bit cheaper. Although I gotta say, and I'm sure you feel the same way. I still don't know why flight prices are so expensive in this country. Like in the U.S., you could fly like L.A. to New York, and it's way cheaper than the equivalent of like Toronto to Vancouver. It's nuts. It's like almost $1,000 to fly.
I know, so crazy. I know my brother lives up in Thunder Bay, and I went and saw him earlier this year. And I think for 2 plane tickets was like $600 or something.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They got to do something about that. I'm looking forward to this fight. It's going to be great. CFFC 93, March 12th on Fight Pass. That's the big thing here. You can watch that on Fight Pass. Aaron, anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors? Any social media? I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, all my teammates, my coaches, Chris Prickett, Wyndon Litlock, all the guys at Niagara Top Team, friends, family, the usual, and then everywhere social media at AAJ MMA.